If you take that 70 and you add on fringe and pension, you're talking $120,000. It's a big bump. And that's 2 cents on our tax rate. Look at it that way. That's why it's a little lighter. Okay, sorry. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome, everyone, to the Borough Council meeting of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone. It is May 6, 2025. It is now 7:03 p.m. I'd like to welcome you and thank you all for coming and joining us tonight. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Nancy, would you please read the sunshine notice?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the 2025 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and Bernardsville News on December 26, 2024, and posted at the Municipal Complex. Action may be taken.
Would everyone please stand and join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. May I ask you, if you haven't done so already, to please silence your cell phones, as I have done, I hope. Yeah. And Nancy, a roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Here.
Councilman Cortello?
Here.
Councilwoman Sueda? Here. Council President Sweeney?
Here.
Mayor Corleano?
Here. We'll start out with public comments on non-agenda items. If anybody's here to discuss something or to talk to the council about any issue regarding a non-agenda item, I'd invite you up to the microphone, please. Name and address.
Hi, Lynn Perry, 59 Main Street in Peapack. I had a question. I've seen several people in the past couple of weeks fishing at the pond, which I know was a no-no. I've politely informed some of them of such notice, and they either kept fishing or informed me that they lived here for 30 years and know that already. So my question is, who would I call to say, hey, there's people fishing? Because I mean, I know it's posted. I don't know if we can get bigger signage, kind of like absolutely no fishing, this means you, or what?
So we are working.
Well, I'll take that. So what we actually decided last year, and it's in the process, is to temporarily allow fishing in the pond and change the ordinance to allow it, and see how it goes. So yes, they're wrong right now for doing that, and I've also told people, hey, you can't fish here right now. But I'm going to be a little more lenient because we are in the process of allowing them to fish in the pond right now. So I appreciate your dedication and foresight. But yeah, I would say leave it for now. If it becomes an issue or a problem, we'll look at it. But we do want to try to encourage some outdoor activity there.
Like that having been said, the law is the law, and the law currently says no fishing in the pond. So if you find it objectionable that somebody's breaking the law, you have every right to do something about it. However, we urge you not to try to enforce it yourself.
Oh,
That's
no.
not the place of yourself or any of us for that matter. It is a police matter. So if you feel it's objectionable or it's causing a nuisance of some sort, we urge you to call the police and have them handle it. Say, look, somebody's fishing in the pond. I know it's illegal. Would you address it?
Okay, so would that be a non-emergency police number?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can call either. You can call either one.
911 is
non-emergency.
intense for fishing.
The reason I say either one is because after a certain hour, the non-emergency goes to the emergency number.
Got it, understood. And I'm sorry, do you know about when it'll? Because I don't want to, if people are allowed to. Then
it's going to be a little while because we really haven't started. We've just had, it's just been a discussion. It's going to be a bit before we change the ordinance.
It's going to be a revision to the ordinance. The reason we have that no fishing ordinance, it goes back to the swans, in that they would fish, the swans would take the hook, and then the swans had to be taken to the vet to have the hook removed.
Right, makes sense.
And the swans aren't there anymore, so we don't have the same rationale to ban it.
We've had that same issue with the geese, though. We had to take one of the geese to.
And by the way, I appreciate wanting to enforce it. We all will have that instinct as to why, but I don't want anybody getting confrontational with you or anybody else for that matter. It's best handled by law enforcement.
Especially if they're armed with a fishing rod.
Yeah, you never know, and hooks and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like politely informing them, and then they were just like, yeah, that's nice. So, which was annoying.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
Hello, Regina Holland, 6 Tiger Hill Drive. Just wanted an update on the library.
June?
No, so the current schedule of the library is that the roof work is gonna be done in the next 14 days. The air conditioners will be on, the final work in the library will be completed no later than, end of May, I'm told. And then the Somerset County Library System comes in and resets the library. They're asking for a lot of time, we're arguing that time, and so you need to figure at least 60 more days past that,
Okay, thank you.
okay? Thank you for asking. Anyone else? Okay, I will close the public comments, non-agenda, we move on to old business. Jamie, do you have anything for us on
No
tennis?
update, we're still waiting for our, estimate, the contract estimate from Classic Turf.
Okay.
It should be here by the end of the week.
Should be.
Okay. New business, anyone? We don't have anything on the agenda for new business, but anyone
Yeah, the right of
that we
way.
missed?
We do have the.
Right,
Yeah, right away, that's new business.
Oh, right of way,
It's on the
Jamie?
print, it's up there,
Yeah, it's tucked in there.
wasn't it?
Okay.
So this is I want to discuss having a change of ordinance, addition to an ordinance in town. Because currently we don't really have any wording about right-of-way, tree care. It's kind of assumed that in the street right-of-way, which varies on the type of street and so forth, and whether it's obviously county or town, that the borough will absorb some of the costs for removal of trees and care of, shrubs, trimming of shrubs that are in, visual right-of-way, things of that nature. And it's become a real burden for DPW, especially with the ash borer problem. There's a lot of ash trees in our town, and people are asking the town to remove them. And we have some other insects that are damaging trees, and so having discussions with the Department of Public Works, it's just become overly burdensome and expensive. So we are going to, or we would like to, initiate an ordinance, basically a right-of-way ordinance, in which homeowners would be responsible for the trees and shrubs on their own property, just just like the rest of their property, but the property already all the way up to the roadway. So we don't have that right now, and DPW is requesting that we establish something of that nature to make it a little bit easier for them.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I get it, with the ash tree issue, it's a lot of trees. And they're still willing, obviously, some of the trees border our, some of our public property. Talking to the department head at DPW, they're going to be reasonable if a tree is on the border of our borough property and town property, but it needs to be more of the homeowner's responsibility.
Okay.
All right, so concurrence that we go to a draft on this,
Yeah,
Jamie?
that's what I'm asking for.
Okay. So,
Concurrence, yeah.
okay, are we putting that in Mr. Warner's hands?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have you saw the paperwork that came over?
Got it.
Oh, you have it,
Yeah.
or, okay, I was gonna say just.
Yeah,
flip
we
that
have
over.
Chester's version currently, and so if we wanna work on that.
Done.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, very
Thanks,
good.
Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.
Mhm.
All right, we have a number of approvals tonight, for some people I know are here. The first one we have is, and you all got some of this paperwork, and Nancy can fill us in on the rest if needed. The first one we have is a raffle license for Matheny for their 50/50 on Saturday, June 7th.
All the paperwork was submitted, was correct. There is no problems. It can be approved if the council concurs.
Okay, discussion by council,
No issue.
I'm in favor.
concurrence?
Yes.
Okay, good to go, Nancy. Then we have a facilities usage application for St. Luke's for the use of Liberty Park and its gazebo on June 8th at 9:30 for a Sunday morning worship service. Sounds very nice. Discussion?
As long as I meant to look up, it doesn't interfere with Community Day or anything like that,
Community Day is the day before,
the day before. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And the T-ball
The barbecue?
barbecue is the night before, is Friday night.
Right.
So
this-
both of those are still gonna be up here, correct?
Both of those will be up here, and this will round off the weekend
Okay.
as a community.
Okay. 'Cause I
Weekend.
think, wasn't there some discussion of Community Day moving back to Liberty Park now that it's in better shape?
It was, but he's still keeping it up here for this year.
Okay. Okay.
You know, our grass is still in recovery.
Yes, I think recovery is a strong word.
Okay.
Okay.
Nancy, were there any questions on the usage
Yeah, very
application?
obvious.
We waive fees and janitorial and all that.
Yes.
Yes, for
Okay,
this,
very good.
yes.
Okay, concurrence, council?
Yes.
You are set to go.
We get a waiver of liability for the goose poop, though?
Sure.
I will do my best to join you that morning.
Great, thank you.
Okay. All right, very good. Next application we get to the harder ones last, not that hard. We have a special use application for an afternoon tea fundraising event for the Historical Society of Somerset Hills to be held on Sunday, the 14th of September, from 12:30 to 4:30 at the Blair's property. And everyone saw that. And if you would like to speak about it, you're
Oh, I don't know,
welcome
the
to.
last time you had me just explain, so if you don't need that, that's fine with me.
I think we're familiar from the last
Yeah.
one.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good.
Good. Thank you for coming, though. Any discussion on that from council?
No.
A concurrence?
Concur.
Yes,
Concur.
everyone?
Yes.
Okay, Nancy?
There is
good to
a
go?
resolution
Later
to
on.
approve it
yeah.
later on for that,
We have a
yes.
resolution coming up on that we'll vote on it.
Same for the next one, I think.
And then same for the next one. And then we have a last one, which is a bigger one. We have a special use application for music in the Somerset Hills for a 70 themed gala on Sunday, October 4th. Why do you always schedule these when I'm away? From 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
You need to change your plans.
I-
It's gonna be so fun.
This is a big trip that's scheduled already. So, no, overseas though. Everyone saw the application? Any questions?
No questions.
No, it looks pretty similar to other.
It is.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much.
Just the only thing is that I just wanted to double check, because I did have it. It is Saturday, not Sunday, October 4th.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to have to come
Oh,
to work
yeah.
on Monday, because I do plan to attend, so.
Mhm.
It's actually 6 to 10. Uh-huh.
And
Okay, the
work-
application you had on 5 o'clock for setup, I guess.
Yeah, we did 5 to 9 the last 2 times, but this time we just thought we'd move it back an hour. Is that a problem? Do I need to
No.
make an amendment to anything?
No, that's fine.
I mean, it's still early, if that's okay.
Okay.
If it's 6 to 10, the only question I would have is the residents on the road there,
Mhm.
with all that coming out. Normally we say 9:30 is kind of the cutoff for that.
Right, so the traffic's done by
Um,
10.
I don't know if a half an hour
I don't know if a half hour makes a difference.
Yeah.
If it helps any, NJAC 7:29, the DEP's noise ordinance starts the nighttime lower noise levels at 10 p.m. and goes from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. as nighttime, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. as daytime, might help. But I'm not taking sides. I'm just advising of that particular
That's
regulation.
beneficial if we get a complaint about it.
Yeah, I think it's been well received. Everyone's in support of that locally, so I don't think 10 o'clock would be an issue.
Yeah, I think the Mish events they tolerate it.
Can you change the date?
You have no idea what we went through
I'm sure.
about this date again.
I'm sure.
It's always, because there's other things going on, so we.
No, I'm sure. I'm just teasing. Before we get council consent on this, I'm going to go a little bit out of something unusual, because this is a big application and because it affects the neighborhood. I'm just gonna open the meeting up to any resident that wishes to comment on this, if there are any here.
We need to revise the resolution, though.
Seeing none, council discussion?
Just that one we did.
Any discussion, council? All right, concurrence? Okay?
But we're gonna have a resolution.
We're gonna have a resolution.
We have a resolution coming up to approve this, yep. Okay, done. Reading and approval of minutes. May I have a motion and second to approve the minutes from the April 15th, 2025 council meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, that goes. Now let's move on to ordinances. We have 2 public hearings this evening for ordinances. We'll start with 1153-2025, an ordinance for the protection of trees in the borough of Peapack and Gladstone. May I have a motion second to open the public hearing for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, would anybody like to comment on this ordinance? Provide public comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the motion and second to close the public hearing for this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, John, Eric, and when you're ready, Nancy, a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay,
May I move to adopt?
very good, thank
So
you.
moved.
Second, roll call vote for adoption, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Ordinance 1153-2025 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnersville News in accordance with the law. Now we have a second public hearing for ordinance 1154-2025, providing for various improvements in and about the borough of Peapack and Gladstone in the county of Somerset, appropriating $876,510 from the General Capital Fund, $419,000 from the Open Space and Recreation Trust Fund, and $226,800 from the Sewer Capital Fund thereof. May I have a motion second to open the public hearing for this ordinance?
So
So
moved.
Second.
Jamie and John, a roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to open this up to public comment on this ordinance before its passage. Seeing none, I will close the public comment portion of the meeting. I'm sorry,
I move-
motion and
I move
second.
to close the public
Close the
portion.
So moved.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye. I move
And-
to adopt.
And now a motion to adopt ordinance 1154-2025. John and
Jamie.
Jamie, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
JJ.
Councilwoman Murphy?
JJ.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1154-2025 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnersville News in accordance with the law. Now we have two introductions of ordinances, and as I've been doing recently, I will give a very brief few sentence summary of these when we get into it, just so you know what we're talking about as these go forward. 1155-2025 is an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 31, Subsection 17 of the General Ordinances of the Borough, titled Off-Duty Assignments for Police Officers, to permit the police department to enter into a service contract with a third-party entity to outsource the administration and management of off-duty assignments for police officers. May I have a motion and second to introduce the ordinance,
So
please?
moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, I should have done this
And
after I
this-
read the
yeah,
title.
this is-
Let me give you what,
Yeah, these are road jobs essentially
Yeah.
for the police officers. When you see them out there directing traffic and they're doing construction or paving, you're not actually paying them. The vendor/contractor is paying them, and this is a mechanism for them to get additional.
in certain cases, we do pay them, such as paving jobs. But for the
If
most
it's
part,
ours.
for the most part, when utilities do work in town or in other local towns, we give our officers the opportunity to use their license, actually not their license, but their
have a
official
license
position.
now, yes.
Well, they do have a license now, as a police officer, to take this extra work and get paid for it. In the past, we managed this. There's a firm out there that manages this for a modest fee, that posts all the jobs so the officers can see them in one place. It makes it easier for the officers, and we're on board with it. So we are implementing this ordinance with certain conditions dealing with this firm. Motion and second to adopt.
No,
Or-
it was just an introduction.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, we just reintroduced
I
it, that's
read
it.
the wrong one. Did we do a roll call vote?
Yes.
Do we?
Yes, okay. Then I can say it. Ordinance 1155-2025 is introduced and should be published in summary in the Burnersville News, and the public hearing for this ordinance will be held on May 27th at 7:00 p.m. or shortly thereafter. Introduction of ordinance 1156-25, an ordinance disbanding the Library Advisory Committee and repealing Chapter 2, Section 47 of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone. Basically, what we're doing here is we We had a library advisory committee. The committee members really weren't very effective because we contracted our library to the county library system. And they run the library according to county standards. And that the members of the committee rightfully felt that they really didn't have much of a place involved in running the library, which is somewhat true because the county runs it. And further also, there's another group out there called the Friends of the Library who interact with the library. And they're active and they work with the library. So with a lack of volunteers wanting to do this job, the committee basically being inactive for the last couple of years, we're going to eliminate this and come and start next year. We're going to assign a council member as a chair for the library to act as the intermediary between the borough and the library. And that's the intent on this. A motion and second to introduce 1156-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Okay. Ordinance 1156-2025 is introduced and shall be published in summary in the Burnersville News, and the public hearing for this ordinance will be held on May 27th at 7 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter. And we have a number of resolutions tonight, which we can do as a consent agenda, consent vote. They are resolutions 84-25 and through 98-25. I know we want to pull already, which one, we want to pull Harrison, right?
93-25.
93-25 for separate vote and
Can we
discussion.
pull 95-25?
Yes. Well, would everybody just take 1 minute and review the rest to make sure we don't want to pull any others? I know you all looked at these already, but 95 you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Just give me a yay if you're ready to go.
I'm good.
John?
Yeah, okay.
I'm good.
Okay. May I have a motion and second to approve resolutions 84-25 through 92-25, 94-25, and 96-25 through 98-25. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, just as a note, the resolution to approve the two events are included in that. Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Okay, let's go back to 93-25, a resolution to approve a special use permit for music in the Somerset Hills on Sunday, October 4th at Blairston.
I just want to make sure we have,
Wait, a motion and second first.
so moved.
Second.
Eric, Julie, go ahead.
I just want to make sure we have the date and time correct on the resolution and title
Because it
as well.
says
It's not, it needs to be Sunday, the 4th.
Saturday.
Saturday the 4th, and then
6 to 10.
6 to 10.
6 to 10. Thank you.
Eric, do you move that as amended?
Yes.
Make a motion to,
Oh, so moved.
As amended, yes.
As amended. Thank you, John.
Second.
okay. When you're ready, Nancy, a roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Okay. Let's move on to 95-25, a resolution to authorize the hiring of seasonal employees for the Recreation Department's 2025 summer camp and other summer programs. A motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, John and Julie, discussion.
And the only reason why I pulled it is because I'm going to abstain because my son's name is on the list. It's for rec camp.
Oh, okay.
Understood.
That's fair.
That's fair. Appreciate it.
What? Nepo baby.
Okay.
Yep.
Any further comments on this resolution? A roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Abstain.
Councilman Cortello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Do we have enough?
Is that a majority?
Yeah, is that a majority?
You have
Yes.
3, right?
Three
So-
of those present.
It's
We're-
3 out of the
3 out of
4.
5.
It's fine, yeah.
We're good.
Okay, fine, just checking.
3 out of 4.
Mhm.
Well, 3 out of 4, yes. 3 out of 4 here,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, moving on to bills list. Resolution 99-25. Does any council member have any item that needs to be pulled for discussion from the bills list? Seeing none, Nancy, may I ask you to please read the total amount of bills to be paid?
$635,077.53.
Thank you. Motion and second to approve the payment of bills.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, very good. On to Mayor's Executive Summary. Steve, the only thing I have is for you, and it's the or proposed ordinance for maintenance away.
Right, yes.
Modifications.
Got it.
Okay. I just have one other comment. In general, the newsletter should be in the mail. If not today, it will be in tomorrow. You'll all be getting that. Hope you enjoy it. Now we open public comments on agenda items.
Yes, before we go there, I just got one comment. The prior agenda had a presentation of awards for the police department scheduled for tonight. That's going to be on May 27th. Really encourage everybody to try and turn out for that. It's been 4 or 5 years since we've given out citations to the officers. Also, this Saturday morning from 9 to 11, it's Coffee with a Cop at the Fair Mountain Coffee Roasters. Not Cocoa Lux, but they're in Gladstone this time. So if you're in the area at that time, stop by, say hello to the officers. Thanks.
Thank you, John. So public comments on agenda items at the microphone, please. Would anybody like to comment on anything that we discussed tonight or any resolution we passed? Seeing none, I'll move on to adjournment. Does any council member have any other item for business? No, we covered everything, okay. A motion and second to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
Before I adjourn, I'd like to thank you all very much for coming this evening. We always love seeing people here. The next meeting of the mayor and council will be on Tuesday, May 27th. As John said, the police are issuing their citations, and there'll be a short reception for them afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. Motion and second to adjourn.
You have it.
Great.
We have-
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.